Hello and welcome to my craft room. This is Mel from Inspired Crafts. I'm just going to check that I'm live in the correct place. Yeah, that all looks good, so that's great. Okay, so lots going on at the moment. We're Stampin' Up and at home. I was up at 3 o'clock this morning with my dog. He wasn't feeling very well, and he's not been himself at all today, so that's caused a bit of a delay in getting ready this morning. Anyway, what I'm going to do today is just some really simple crafting ideas with mainly using designer series paper and a punch and a sentiment. Though you don't need a punch even, you could just use a trimmer and cut sort of mats for your sentiment and that. Okay, so this is one of the cards I'm going to show you how to make. It's really simple. You could do it quite easily. To say, I've used a punch for this, but you could quite easily cut a square and turn it into a diamond or a rectangle or whatever just with a pair of scissors. So that's the one we're going to start off with. Oh, hi Sylvie. How's France at the moment? Is the weather warmed up since we were there? Hi Elizabeth, thanks for joining me. Hope you're okay. Got some lovely sunshine here at the moment. This week and next week's meant to be really good weather, so I'm just got distracted by the comments on the thing, so bear with me. Okay, so for one of the cards I'm going to use this. I do love this set. It's been my favourite, I think, or it's certainly one of my favourites for the mini catalogue. I'm just going to cut a layer for this bit here. It's just a standard layer, so it's 3 3/4 inches by 5.5. May as well do the other bit as well on here. So in order to get this exact, I just measured to 2 3/4 inches, which is halfway, and then took my cutting blade down to the 1.5 inch mark, so lining this little groove up with the 1.5 inch, and then turning the paper. You need to line this up and where you've cut to, so it's really easy if you can. It's easier to see what you're doing stood up. Just getting both of those, so this tip and the edge of the cut line into that groove, and then just gently go down with your scoring blade. You don't need to do it too hard, because obviously on designer series paper it can cut through. It's not as thick as card. And then just do the other side. Okay, so there's the cut and the score lines. Pop that to one side for a moment while what's it like on that? Okay, just wanted to have a look, see what colour card base I'm going to use. I think I'm going to do, if I can find, oh, I've got lots of card out at the moment from everything since coming back from Strasbourg. It's been a bit hectic, and I've not put everything away yet. So I'm just trying to find the right colour pink that I wanted, but it looks as though it's hiding somewhere. So I'm just going to use a different colour. It will be fine. I'm going to use this bubble bath, which is still fine. It doesn't have it in there, but it goes, I think it goes pretty well. Anyway, so standard card base for me is 5 3/4 inches by 8. Scored in the middle at 4. Okay, so let's just pop this out the way for one moment. Oh, Elizabeth, it was lovely catching up with you on stage. I know we swapped, but I don't think I saw much of you after that, which was a bit of a shame. But so many people there, it was great fun. Okay, so I'm just bending. I'm just going to force that corner over a little bit. Just going to score that like so, and that's going to sit on my card base. Okay, so that's the main sort of part of the card. Now, how you do your greeting is really up to you. I love this hexagon punch, so I'm going to punch one in the pink and one in white. And I'm going to get, I'm going to use blueberry bush, or just, there is some blue on here, so I'm going to use that rather than the pink, because I think the pink might just be a little bit pale for the sentiment. I want the sentiment to stand out. Okay, and then with this pink one, I'm going to chop it in half. Run some glue on those edges. This is where I get covered in glue, but then I'm just going to line it up so that I've got a little bit of a border on the top. and again on the bottom. It's about even. Okay, my dimensionals are here, so I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back. And pop that there in the middle. So that's that bit. I'm going to add some trusty rhinestones. I'm just trying to get used to what's going to be left and what's leaving the catalogue. I could actually, I've got some gold ones somewhere that came with this, I think. Or were around anyway. I'm going to use the gold ones to match the gold here. Thanks, Elizabeth. Yeah, it was great. I think that there were loads more in America, weren't there? I can't remember what it was I was listening to or reading the other day, but it was like 2,500 in America. I thought ours was big. Obviously, there's a lot more demonstrators in America, but it was lovely to be able to catch up with people. And I don't know where I want to put this. I'm going to put it there. And see obviously all the new things that are coming out. Though I've only just done an order for mine because most of the stuff that I want isn't actually available at the moment. Right, I'm just going to cut a white layer to go inside, and I will add a bit of designer series paper onto that, just as another use. So this is just the same size layer as the DSP was, and then I'm going to cut, I don't want it too thin because I want you to be able to see that it's still got some cake or something. You can tell roughly what it is. This is, I think this was ½ inch. And I'm just going to stick that on the edge. Like so. Hi Carol. Ah, yeah, Cologne next year. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get there. I don't know. I've not completely decided whether I'm gonna make it to Cologne or whether I want a hot holiday, to be honest. Not sure I'll get away with going to both, so I could try. Okay, so that's that style. Looks totally different. Whatever colours you use, you get a slightly different look, I suppose. But that's really straightforward and simple and quick. Right, let's put that ink away. I lean on it. My other one of my other favourites is the oh, what's it called? The Storybook Moments. And I'm just trying to grab the bits, some of the bits and pieces I've got here that I can use for a different style of card. Try and find all my, I've got lots of bits of leftover stuff, but anyway, that'll do for a moment. This one I'm just going to do some punched out. Again, you can do it with squares, so you could just cut 1 inch, 1.5 inch squares, something like that. Trying to find the characters on here. I don't want to chop their heads off. What have I got on the back of there? Oh look, I've chopped his head off. I suppose it's all right. Okay, got that one. Strawberries. I don't know how many of these I want, so I'm just going to chop a few up. Might need some more, but that will do for a moment. I'm going to use, I think this is my last sheet of boho blue, so it's going to be used up, but that's fine. Right, when's the Edinburgh tattoo, Carol? Is that in the summer or? I don't know when that is. I've heard of it, but I don't know when it is. Okay, so another standard card base. I'm going to use Basic Beige, I think, as a background layer. So once I've do you keep all your scraps? I've got tons. That's too small. Tons and tons of scraps that I try and use up as much as possible. Just get another piece out, it's far quicker. Okay, so the next layer is going to be 3 3/4 by 5.5, and I'll just chop this bit of white down for an inside layer. August. Oh, well, I hope you get some good weather for the Edinburgh tattoo in August then. Okay, I'm going to bring in my silicone mat. On this one, I'm going to just place I'm going to place one where I want the sentiment. So I'm going to place it off to the sort of just off a bit. I don't want it in the centre, I want it slightly off. And then I'm going to place my hexagons around. And move them about until I get, I don't want it like I want, until I get them roughly where I want them. So I'm not going to get this bunny on now. Oh, I could, no, it's going to chop him off, isn't it? Just pop that one that way. Doesn't matter if there's white against each other, I don't think. Right, let's get get a bit more. Can't do that. That's too much the same. Okay, so this one I'm going to chop in half, and I'm going to set the wrong way. I'm going to pop that one there. I think I've got a bit more. Use another bit of the strawberry one. And then that one doesn't quite reach, so I'm going to move that one across a little bit, and then I can fiddle these over, and that'll be fine. So once I've laid it all down, I'm now going to stick the patterned paper ones down so that they stay where I want them. Trying just to get the glue on the areas that I want it. But if you're using a silicone mat, then at least you'll be able to get the cardstock off again and the DSP off, because I have done it before and forgotten to put my silicone mat under and had the card stuck to my grid paper. Just makes it a little bit tricky for getting it off of the picking it up again. So while this one takes a bit longer to do, I think it's quite a good way of showing all the different patterns and just a different technique. You can do this, say, with most shapes, most of our punches and the dies as well. Need some more Tombow. So if you've got a favourite set in the new catalogue, or are you're a bit on the fence with it at the moment? Say most of mine that I wanted aren't. Right, I'm going to just pop that to dry when I do the stamp. Most of what I wanted isn't actually out yet, so I've ordered a few bits, but yeah, not the bits that I wanted. I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use no, I will use that. It's okay. It'll look okay because that's whitish, isn't it? So it's fine. I'm just going to use the same stamp. This is out of the Simply Said stamp set. And then I want some dimensionals. I've got ink everywhere. I've got a smudge of ink on there, but that's okay. I'll cover it up with something sparkly in a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to chop these off. You can use a trimmer if you want, or you could just use a pair of scissors. This sort of thing looks really effective as well if you've got at Christmas or for a special occasion when you're using silver or gold foil as the layer. Right, I can't talk and concentrate on cutting at the same time, but it makes such a totally different look once you've cut all the extra bits off. Get rid of that. And then we'll pop it on there. Oops. You can add ribbon to it, or just leave it like so. So I've lost my rhinestones. Here they are. And now I've actually made lots of cards using the DSP for this storybook set, and I've not actually bought the stamp set or the dies because I've just used all of the cutouts that we've got with it. I'm going to pop something in the middle. From these, I'm going to just pop I don't know. Ooh. I just want something small-ish, maybe this. That'll do, I think. Just to stick. Stick on the inside layer. I suppose that makes it a bit more girly, that one, but it's fine. Okay, so that's another one. Maybe this should have been about using the hexagonal punch, I don't know. Because that's what I've designed, a series paper and the hexagonal punch, but I don't know of any other designs I can do with that one, so I'm not going to use it again for the main bulk of it. Another pretty easy, sorry, I'm just trying to find the right card base. I've got some supplied here. I'm just going to use a white one, I think, for this, and I'm going to find the right paper. To pop that one out the way, pop that up there. Right, I'm going to use some of this Adventurous Skies paper. I just want that's an inch, might be a bit smaller in it with an inch. Got some of that one. You can tell which, if you looked in my pack, you would be able to tell quite easily which papers I use the most of. And I've got loads of the other ones left. I think that'll be enough. Right, so up a minute. I'm just going to chop up a load of I might even do it 1 1/4 inch, I think, because it's 1 inch, I think, slightly too small. So I'm going to cut up a load of 1 1/4 inch squares. And this is a similar thing to the hexagonal punch. Right, that will do those. Okay. Now you can either cover the whole sheet, the whole front of the card in little squares, or you can just do like part of it. You can do them as squares, you could do them as diamonds, which looks really effective. Right, what haven't I got? I've got that bit. A bit of green. This is brilliant for using up scraps, because we always end up with some scraps, don't we? that one round. Okay, I think that should be enough for now. So obviously we've got different sides of each bit. It is scored in the middle. I'm just going to get my bone folder. And again, with the as with the hexagonal punch, this one, laying it out, it's a really good idea to lay it out first. Again, you can put it onto, as I say, onto a layer, or you can just put it straight on to the card base. And again, you just need to decide what bits you want where, really. Oh, that's upside down. Let's put it so that the clouds are roughly in the right place. So I'm going to stick these down because they keep moving. So I'm going to stick these ones down first. Just leaving a bit of a gap between the points. Oh, this glue must be running out. See, now I measured that and I didn't get it exactly right, so I'm going to move it slightly. There. Okay, and then we can fill in then with our other pieces, and you can do as many or as few as you want. So that could go there. Don't want too many squares next to each other. Got on there. The more, obviously, the more patterns you have, the more choices you've got for filling it in. I might move that way. And obviously, if you've got it on a mat, you would pick it up and cut this off. But I've not put mine on a mat like that, so I'm just gonna, I would just trim them off afterwards. God, I'm determined not to get another glue out at the moment because I've got so many open. And I know there's tons of glue left in this. Try and keep the distance even. It's not going to be very even on this one, I'm afraid, because I've stuck one down wonky from the start. But you get the idea. And you can put more on. That's not very good, is it? It needs to go down there a bit more. So you could put another bit here. So let's see, what have we got? And then to balance that out, I'll put another piece. Make sure I'm gluing the bit I want glued. Just another piece up there. And you'll then have this zigzag edge. Right. Before I do anything else with that, I'm going to turn it over and carefully cut away the excess bits. Okay, so then you can see, once you've cut them away, you see this one isn't straight, so it's not perfect by a long shot, but it's fine. So you get a different effect as soon as you've cut off all the excess. And then just for a sentiment, what we're going to use, I really like this Simply Said stamp set. It's really just quite easy. What I'm just going to use, I'm going to use boho blue again, and I'm going to use the same birthday wishes, and I'm going to be really brave and just stamp straight on to the card and hope it's straight. That's all right. And then I've got somewhere the grey and smoky grey what are they? Basic grey and smoky slate pearls. Just to add a little bit of bling. Okay, so that's my 3 different cards using designer series paper and a greeting, or yeah, a punch, or not if you didn't want to use a punch. Right, well, thanks for joining me today. I hope it's given you some inspiration on how to use all that gorgeous DSP that we buy and don't ever want to cut. Okay, take care and I'll see you again soon. Bye.